For some of you, thank you so much for joining us. We're excited to show our demonstration of the new FayeBSG sugar box integration application. My name is Jesse Heller. I'm the marketing guy here at FayeBSG, and along with me is David Feye as well, who's going to take us through the demo. But I'm just going to do a little bit of introduction stuff, and I'll move as quickly as I can, and then we'll get straight into the demo with David. So many of you might know this, but some of you may not. Feye Business Systems Group, we've been around for about 25 years, and we are a Sugar Platinum partner. We're known for being a leading provider of sugar integrations, including some of the integrations you see here in accounting and ERP software like Sage, Intact, QuickBooks, Constant Contact, and then some of our newer integrations as well with Jira and ShoreTel and Box. So over the years, we've done hundreds of successful accounting, ERP, and CRM software implementations and integrations. So a little bit about Sugar real quick, which most of you probably know, but if you don't, Sugar is the fastest growing CRM company in the world. They were founded in 2004, and to date, there are Sugar CRM applications have been downloaded more than 12 million times, something like that, and currently over 1.2 million end users are using it across varied disciplines. They're truly a global company with global representation, with over 80,000 organizations that have chosen Sugar CRM. They've been recognized for their customer success and product innovation by companies like Gartner and CRM Magazine, InfoWorld, Customer Interaction Solutions. In late last summer, they received a $40 million equity investment by Goldman Sachs. And you know, what's really truly great about Sugar is it's a product with tons of flexibility and customization. There's virtually nothing you can't make it do. It can be hosted on the cloud, on-premise, on your own server, or Amazon, or a third party. Really, it's your choice where to host it, and you can truly make the program yours. And these are just some of the companies that have implemented Sugar. There's some pretty big companies here, but there's also you know, tons of small to mid-sized organizations that are using Sugar as well. Real quick about Box. So who uses Box? 20 million individuals, 200+ thousand businesses, and 97% of the Fortune 500 companies are using Box. On May 8th, they announced that General Electric has chosen Box as its corporate standard for content sharing and collaboration. So there are more than 300,000 employees across 170 countries that work for GE now using Box. So they're an online file sharing and personal cloud content management service for businesses, and you know, it's based on sharing and collaborating and working with files that you upload to Box. There are different account types, different levels. Depending on which level you have, there's different security features and storage features as well. And they were really just founded on a simple idea that people should be able to access and share their content from anywhere. And we're really excited to show you today the integration that we built with Sugar. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to David Feye, who's the CEO of Feye Business Systems Group. David, I'm going to give you controls here momentarily, and then you can take it away.
Sounds great. Thanks, Jesse. We're really excited to be showing this to you guys today. We've been Box users for a few years, and you know, like many of the great products built in the world today, we were our first customer, and so we built this in a way to help us improve our productivity and make things more streamlined for us, and we found that it's doing the same thing for quite a few of our clients.
And David, I did forget to mention, if anybody had any questions they'd like to ask, please feel free to send me a chat at any time during the presentation, and I'll shoot them over to David, and we'll try to answer them as we go. Sorry about that.
No problem. Yep, you can do that too. No problem at all. As I said, we're big fans of Box. We use it internally. We have a number of clients using Box. We find it to be a great cloud-based file storage tool. And when you connect it with a number of its other productivity add-ons like Box Sync and Box Edit, which allows you to sync Box stuff to your desktop or edit things straight from Box in Word or Excel, things like that. It's just a phenomenal tool, and it's secure. You can really control who can access what in Box. And so we're big-time users of Box, and so we built this integration with Sugar so that we could pull up customer and lead and other types of records in Sugar and just see the related files in Box, so we didn't have to keep things in two places. And all of the security and all of the other power of Box is available within this integration. So I'm going to start by just showing you how our Box instance looks, and then we'll kind of go from there. So this is what Box looks like for us. We have a ton of folders, in Box, but the relevant ones here, we have a folder called Clients, we have a folder called Prospects, and then down here we have a folder called Admin. And there's all kinds of, we keep all kinds of files in here. You'll see we use Box for a lot of other stuff too. We have product information, resources, sales, marketing, operations, etc. But in general, for purposes of the demo today, we're just going to talk through the Clients, Prospects, and Admin folders. And what you see here is what I have access to in my Box. Other users in our organization may only see the Clients folder or only the Prospects folder or other things. It just depends on their role in the organization. So this is our Box instance. At this point, I'm going into Sugar, and I'm looking at the Admin screen. And if I scroll down in Admin, we have a new option here called Sugar Box Settings. And if I click on Sugar Box Settings, this is just going to show us how our integration is set up. And it's really easy. You only have to go into this the first time. But the idea is that there's a General Configuration tab. You give the URL to where your Box instance is. Box will give you a client ID and this client secret information. And then, you're pretty much good to go. The connectivity is there. Then what you can do is you can configure integration to work with any module in Sugar. So what we've said here is our Leads module, the documents in our Leads module are going to map to the Prospects folder in Box. And in order for that to work, the account name field in Sugar will have to match the folder name under Prospects. And so that's how it knows where to find the documents in Box. And you have complete flexibility on this. You can pick the folder name, you can pick the field name, you can create custom fields, you can use standard fields, you can do whatever you want. We didn't want to dictate how this worked for our clients. We felt you could do it any way you want. So in a lead record in Sugar, it's going to map to a Prospects folder in Box. Then in the Accounts module, we actually have two Box folders that we're mapping to. We want the Clients folder to map there, and then we're also mapping an Admin folder. Now, some of our users have access to the Clients folder and the Admin folder. Some of our users can only see the Clients folder and not the Admin folder. And so the nice thing about this is that security in Box will transfer right into Sugar. So all those guys who can't see stuff in Admin in Box won't see Admin in Sugar. And so this is it. This is the setup. If I wanted to add another module, into Sugar, and say I wanted to map opportunities, I could just pick the opportunities module off this list. I could say I want the Prospects folder to map to opportunities, and I could pick any field that's in the opportunities module and say that's going to be the folder name in Prospects. So I'm not going to do that, but it's that easy to map documents in Box to any module in Sugar. So that setup, once this setup is done, and like I said, you do it, on the first day, right after the module is really easy, the integration's easily installed in Sugar. Once this is set up, you're good to go. So if I pull up a lead record now in Sugar, this is Nikki Green from the Liquid Blue Band, and so it's telling me this is a standard lead record. Right here, I've got my Sugar Box window, and it's telling me, okay, it's looking in Prospects. Now, if I drag this little cloud here, it opens up, and here's all the files that are in this folder in Box. And I could go into Box and it would look exactly like this. And I have all the Box functionality. So if I wanted to look at this particular document and I wanted to preview it, I could preview it. If I wanted to drag a document in, it's kind of a cool thing. I'm just going to take this document, drag it right into that folder, and there you go. It's now in Sugar and it's in Box. And Box takes care of backing it up. Box takes care of security, all that stuff. If I now wanted to download this document, I could download it. There it is. If I wanted to preview it, I could preview it. No, there's the logo. And, if I wanted to delete it, I can delete it. This is all standard Box functionality. Everything I just did is you can do in Box. Now you can do it inside of Sugar, and everything we're doing here is happening in Box. And again, if as a user of Box, I don't have rights to this folder or either of these files, I wouldn't be able to see what's going on here. Let's do that. Now, so this is how it looks in the lead. If I were to look in an account, and you'll notice in this account, which is Marketing Innovations International, I've got two windows here. I've got one for my clients folder and one for my admin folder, and I'm just going to move the cloud over there, and I'm going to move the cloud over there. And you'll see, okay, here's some folders inside of the clients folder. And here's some folders inside of the admin folder. Again, just like I did before, if I want to take a file and drag it in, I could drag it down here, and there it is. All the same functionality that's available in Box is available in Sugar. And if you're already a Box user, this kind of integration is invaluable because now everything that you do in Box is immediately available to you in a Sugar record. And if you're not a Box user, you should think about becoming a Box user because since we've been using Box, we don't have any need for our file server anymore. All the documents are stored in Box, so we know that they're secure, we know they're backed up, and we know now they're integrated in with Sugar. So prior to doing this, we were doing a lot of double work. We could have been saving the document to our file server or saving the document up to Box, and then we were dragging the document into the Documents panel inside of Sugar. But now we've got this new panel inside of Sugar. And by the way, we're looking at Sugar 6. It works exactly the same way in Sugar 7. And you have all this functionality built right into Sugar. And that's really it. I mean, there's not a lot of other things to show you other than getting into a full-blown Box demo because really this functionality here is exactly the same as you would have as if you were in Box. So Jesse, I'm going to turn it back over to you. I know this was pretty quick, but really it's powerful and simple all rolled into one. And so if there's any questions, I'm happy to address them.
Great. Thanks, David. It doesn't look like there's any questions at this time. It'd be interesting to know if anybody out there is currently using Box and if they find if there's any value, if they find as much value as we do, because we think it's pretty incredible. Yeah, I think one just might have come in. 1 second, David. Yeah, so here, we got a couple of questions that just popped in. Okay, so this is from Chad at Sugar Outfitters. He was interested to know, you mentioned user permissions. How does that work between Box and Sugar?
It's a great question. The permissions are really completely related to what the permissions are in Box. And so when you log into Sugar, it's validating your login into Box. So the first time you log into the Box integration, it'll prompt you for your Box username and password. And once you've done that, anything you can do in Box, you can do in Sugar. And if you can't do it in Box, then you can't do it in Sugar. As I mentioned before, with some of our some of our users internally, they can access the client's folder, but they can't access the admin folder. So what they would see is they would see this client window here, the admin window would go away, and they wouldn't see that at all. And the security in Box is pretty powerful. Each one of these folders, users have read, write, view only access. So you can set that, whether they can just view stuff, whether they can change stuff, whether they can download stuff. All of those features and functionality are contained within Box, the Box security, and then that transfers straight into Sugar. So for example, on this file right here, if I didn't have delete rights in Box, this delete option would be here. And so it takes whatever Box rights you have and moves them straight into Sugar.
Great. And then we also had a question come in about if it's possible for you to preview documents with this add-on without having to download them.
Sure. I'll call invoice contract template. It's a file. I am previewing it right on the screen. Right.
And then,
any of these documents, I can download there, and there's a button that says preview, and so you can preview any of them, just like in Box. And you'll also notice on this window here, there's an edit with Word option. That's using the Box add-on, which is just a add-on to Box. And then to click that, I can document up in Word. I can make changes to it, save it, and immediately save it back up to Box and Sugar. So that's a pretty cool feature as well. Sorry, go ahead, Jesse.
So the question is, I'll do my best to kind of transcribe this. I think it's can you subscribe to documents so as new documents are added, your newsfeed is updated?
Wow, that would be a great feature. That's a great feature. We're going to add that to the list. As of right now, within Box functionality, as you make changes to documents, you can be alerted, and so that functionality exists in Box right now already. So any document that you've marked appropriately, you can get an update on that document's been downloaded or changed or something else has happened to it. That particular stream is not translating into Sugar, although you would be getting an email based on your Box user rights. So we definitely can look into adding that to Sugar if that's something that a lot of people want, because that sounds pretty cool.
And then we had a pricing question. Most important question, probably, maybe.
The integration cost is $499 a year. $499 a year.
Yeah.
And that's for unlimited users, and that includes the software and support and updates and upgrades throughout the year.
All right. Any other questions? And did we answer your current questions, hopefully? I think that's it. Well, Dave, I don't know if you have anything else you wanted to add, or if we can give everybody back some time in their day.
Yeah, no, I think that's it. We showed the stuff. Like I said, it's simple and powerful. There's not much more stuff to show other than if people are interested more about Box. Certainly, we could go into a lot longer demo about how Box works and the different functionality and power related to Box. But in terms of the integration with Sugar, I think people probably got the idea.
One more question did come in, David. Can you access documents that are not specifically associated to a record? So basically, just a general folder of documents.
Yeah, there's an add-in on the Sugar home screen that gives you that ability. We didn't demo that because It's a fairly standard thing, but yes, if you wanted to do that, there's a window on the Sugar home screen that you can add that'll do that.
Okay. Savitra, hopefully that answered your question. If there's any other questions, definitely, you guys all have my email address, and I'll answer them as quickly as I possibly can if anything does happen to come up after our webinar today. So with that, thank you so much, David, and thank you everyone for joining. And again, feel free to reach out to us at any time, and hopefully we left you learning something that you didn't know previously to join. So everyone have a great day, and thanks again.